G'day, my name is Felix. Welcome to my little corner of the back room. Today we're checking out more 14 Days with You. Last time we got the bad ending, so we need to reload and make a different decision. Let's get into it. So last time we decided to stay the night, and that didn't end well. So this time we're going to go home, I guess. Yeah, it's probably best for me to go home before the storm gets any worse. I still have to go back to work tomorrow anyway. Thanks for today, but I should probably start heading back now. Oh, it's really no problem. Here, why don't I put your food in another bag and drop you off? Are you sure? I don't want to be a bother. You'd never be a bother to me. Tapping the table, Ren pushes himself up and sets off to find something to put my takeout in. What did I do to deserve someone as kind as Ren? With a smile of my own, I get up from the stool and slowly make my way toward the entrance once more, but not before throwing Ren one final compliment. It's great that I can rely on you for anything. I mean, of course. The ride back to my place was nothing short of ominous. The looming clouds on the horizon made the scenery seem dark and eerie, but thankfully Ren and his pastel-colored hair were there to brighten things up. He even offered to walk me to my door, and what greeted the both of us was a single package on top of my doormat. Panic flashes through me at the thought of it being another gift from my supposed stalker, but then I remember the purchase I made this morning and the notification I received on my phone. Ah, must be my security cameras. Deftly picking it up, I put it under an arm as I fish for my keys in one of my pockets. I can sense Ren's eyes on me, or rather my package, but even as I glance in his direction, I can tell that he's trying to hold himself back from asking. Surely there wouldn't be any harm in telling him. Oh, I brought a security system this morning, because of how shady this neighborhood is. I figured it'd be a good idea to be safer than sorry. That creep didn't come back, did they? Without thinking, I dropped my keys and slapped a hand over Ren's mouth before cautiously looking over my shoulder. Oh, what was I doing? I was getting worked up and acting paranoid again. With an embarrassed look, I turned back to apologize to Ren, only to find his cheeks a deep red and a hand wrapped around my wrist. When did he... Quickly withdrawing my hand, I squeak out an apology before picking up my keys and turning back to my door. I still didn't want to get Ren involved with my problems, but I honestly didn't want to risk being alone tonight either. Too lost in my own world, I barely noticed Ren coming closer, nor his hand covering my keys to steady my fidgeting. Do you want some help? He must have seen the look of confusion on my face as he continues talking. Setting up your cameras, I mean. Self-taught programmer, remember? I'm sure I can figure it all out. Plus, it'd save you having to call someone to install them. He did have a point, and I'd honestly feel safer if I weren't alone tonight. Still, I've been spending so much time with Ren lately, I didn't want him to get fed up with me and my presence. Would it be a good idea? Oh, dude, saving again. Sure. Maybe it would be a good idea after all. Would you mind? I probably look pathetic with how I barely make any eye contact, instead choosing to stare at my door rather than Ren, but he doesn't seem to mind, or perhaps he simply chooses not to comment on it. I'd be happy to, Angel. With a smile, I open the door and let Ren inside. You know, I think we have the same mirror. Oh? Putting the small talk aside for a moment, I ushered the pink-haired person into my living room and situate ourselves on the couch. Ren wastes no time in opening my package, placing all the bits and pieces on the table, and setting off to work. Though every so often, he'd sneak a peek in my direction whenever he thinks I'm not looking. Did he want something? Raising a brow, I send him a silent question. I don't mean to pry into your personal life, but... You know you're always welcome to stay at my apartment. Ren, I've seen where you live. I doubt I could afford rent. You could stay for free, I don't mind at all. And I'm more than capable of covering your cost. I'd make a really good roommate too. I always clean up after myself, and I wouldn't mind doing the same for you as well. Only if you'd be fine with it though. And I can cook as well. Laundry, cleaning, repairing things around the house. Yard work? I can do all of it for you, really. Wait, you have a yard? Man, they really fit a lot into those upscale apartments, huh? Well, no, I don't. But I always did the gardening and used the lawnmower a lot when I was younger. I'm sure I can figure it all out again. Not that I'd need to, though, like you said, no yard. No offense, Ren, but I can't imagine someone like you mowing grass. Was that your first job as a teen? Before that, actually. Huh? Before that? You mean as a child? Maybe a bit younger? Younger? I mean, just kidding. Yeah, it was my first job as a teenager. Anyway, the point is, I'd be happy to let you stay at my place. Oh, well, I really appreciate the offer, Ren, but I gotta tough this one out on my own. Oh, if you say so. He goes quiet after that. Picking up the manual, Ren tries to busy himself with learning how to connect the cameras to my Wi-Fi before tossing aside and doing it his own way. Deciding not to get in the way, I curl up on the couch with my food and simply observe him. I won't lie, watching Ren's hands deftly connect cables and unscrew plates was kind of attractive, but I wasn't about to say anything. And soon enough, the events of the evening slowly draw out as I start to feel the telltale signs of weariness take a hold of me. I try my best to muffle my yawn before I glance up at the clock on my wall to read the time, just past midnight. Damn, I hadn't realized we'd been at this for so long. Tired? Ren's voice startled me and I glanced back to see that he had already put down the cameras and was reclining in his seat to fully look at me. Kinda, it's been a long day. You can go ahead to bed if you want. I'll set this all up and lock up once I'm done. You're still going to go home after this? You want me to stay? Did I? Strange. Perhaps it was because we'd been spending so much time together, but I'd somehow grown fond of Ren's presence. It was comforting to have him near, though I wasn't about to tell him that. So with an affirmative nod, I make the decision. Yeah, I do. Oh. Ren's grin practically reaches his ears as he laughs to himself. Okay, sure, no problem. I can't help but playfully roll my eyes at his enthusiasm. Well then, why don't I get some pillows and blankets and we can camp out here for the night? Ha, just like a sleepover? Sure. His toothy grin reminds me of my childhood days, back when I'd beg all the adults to let some of my friends from school stay the night. With all of us wrapped up in patterned blankets, I'd cuddle up on the couch with everyone until we'd all fall asleep. But it wasn't Leon who came to mind. It was someone else. Their face was blurry, but I could make out tufts of black hair from within the blanket surrounding us, and the same toothy grin Ren was giving me. But when I focused my attention back on him, I noticed that the smile is gone, and he's instead looking at me with a confused look on his face. Ah, I must have been spacing out again. Sorry, I'll go get those pillows now. Let me know if you need any help. Ren's response gets drowned out as I flee into the hallway. It took a while, but Ren managed to set the cameras up and hook it all up to an app on my phone, all while I made myself comfortable on the couch. He explained how to use it, but if I were being honest, I started to nod off once he started geeking out about the different kind of alarm buttons. Before I know it, my head falls onto his shoulder with a soft thump, and I feel Ren's body shake as he lets out a faint laugh. Something moves from the chair next to him before a warm duvet is wrapped around my shoulders. I can feel Ren pull me to his side before we both fall backwards onto the couch. His chest softens the blow, and with one of his hands gently threading through my hair, I slowly start to drift off. Nostalgia greets me once more, and before my consciousness fades away, I try to chase after the foggy memory that had been plaguing my brain as of late. Those 3 kids, laughing and playing together near a lake. Who were they? And who was the one that stayed right by my side even after everyone else went home? Almost desperately, I try to recall their face, or any of their defining features really. At this point, I'd take anything. But it's all for naught when I feel Ren's lips fall to the crown of my head to place a chaste kiss. Sleep well, Felix. With his comforting voice in my mind, I slowly start to slip away. Rather than the faint chirping of birds outside my window, it's the sound of something buzzing that rudely pulls me from my slumber. Muscle memory immediately kicks in, causing me to haphazardly throw my arm above my head and fumble around in search of the noise. When my hand lands on what I think is my phone, I groggily pull it closer to see what all the fuss is about. My boss's name flashes on the screen, causing me to awaken fully, and I unlock my phone to read his message. Library closed today. Police closed down the entire street. Unsure why. Will text you if more information becomes available. Conan. Police closed down the entire street? What happened, dude? What? Conan's odd texting quirks aside, what did he mean the police closed down the entire street? Did that have anything to do with what was on the news last night? But the aquarium isn't in that street, is it? That reminds me, I still need to call Eleanor and Teo to see if they were alright. Teo is most decidedly not alright, but sure. I mean, it's almost an entire day since I've heard any kind of reply from them. I'll try Eleanor first. Not wasting any time, I find her name in my contact list and press the call button, only for it to immediately go to voicemail. Strange. Maybe she's busy, Why would she be dead too, though? What did she do wrong? I hope she at least received Conan's text. I'd hate for her to show up bright and early to the library only to find out that it's closed for the day. Speaking of texts, maybe I should send one of my own just in case. I type up a quick response before doing the same for Teo. And maybe it's because of what happened during our double date yesterday, but I wasn't in the mood to try calling him for some reason. Yeah, with that out of the way, I let out a tired sigh before haphazardly throwing my phone back onto the empty space near my bed. Wait, empty space? That reminds me, what happened to Ren? The last thing I remember from last night was us snuggled up on the couch together. At that, my cheeks immediately grow warm at the thought, and without so much as thinking, I reach up for my phone once more to check out the security camera app he installed. I guess it was a good purchase after all, seeing as I could use these cameras to spy on a certain pink-haired cutie, one who was hopefully still in my apartment. Looking for the app he installed on my phone, I open it up and navigate towards the camera in my living room. I see the telltale signs of my pillows and blankets on the couch, though what captures my interest is the fact that they were neatly stacked and put away, with no Ren in sight. He ditched! Fucker. Curious, I switched to a different camera to find him. He wasn't in my kitchen either, and not near my entryway. There was no point checking the camera in my bedroom since, well, I'm already here, with only one left. As soon as I check out the camera in my hallway, it's then that I notice a familiar pair of blue jeans and soft cardigan slumped against the wall. Was that Ren sitting outside of my door? What was he doing? Perhaps a bit impulsively, I sit upright in bed and call out for him, and almost immediately I hear the telltale signs of someone clambering around outside my bedroom. It's shortly followed by the faint sound of a throat clearing before a familiar patch of pink hair peeks through the gap in the door. Was he waiting for me to wake up? Ren peers in and sheepishly looks at me with a soft smile before he opens the door fully and invites himself inside. Good morning, Felix. Did you sleep well? Ren looks like he wants to say something, but instead he chooses to climb up and stare at his feet. I almost want to reach out and ask him to look at me, but I hold back in favor of letting him take the initiative. Still, doesn't stop me from calling out his name. Ren? Almost immediately, Ren's head whips up as he looks at me with wide eyes. There's a crooked smile on his face this time, and almost timidly, he shuffles on his feet as if deciding whether he can come closer. You asked me to stay last night, but then you started mumbling about not having enough room for something, so I carried you to your bedroom instead, and then you asked me to join you in your bed, but then you said something about the grown-up saying it'd be okay for me to stay. What the fuck? Something about the grown-up saying it'd be okay for me to stay, and I didn't really know what to make of that, to be honest. I wouldn't know either, dude. Shit, seriously? Was I really sleep-talking about something that happened when I was a child? But I figured you really did want me to stay, so I ended up camping out in your living room. So, don't worry, nobody came into your room. Besides me, of course. And I only just woke up, actually. Right. If you still want to, I can join you, and, actually no, never mind. Ren looks like he'll combust on the spot if he talks any longer, and as if sharing the same thought, he climbs up and awkwardly scratches his jaw. From that reaction alone, I have the slightest inclination as to what he wanted to ask me. Now that I think about it, would it be such a bad idea? Let me save, I don't want a bad ending again, dude. Where are we now? 4? Yeah, okay. Invite Ren into bed. Were you going to ask if you could join me in bed? Yes. No, wait, I mean, you don't mind, because I don't mind standing here. Honest, you can't even notice the draft, and I don't mind the sunlight directly hitting my eyes at all, Ren. Come here, Ren. Almost like a puppy, he immediately makes a beeline towards me, but not before closing the door and waiting for me to lift the blankets up. I suppose that's his way of making sure I really want him in my bed. Aww. Not wasting another second, Ren joins me underneath the duvet and makes himself comfortable beside me. Hi. Hey, I feel like we've done this dance before. Maybe once or twice. Your bed is just as warm as last time. That's usually what happens when someone sleeps in it. I don't miss the way he pulls the blanket closer to his face with a warm smile. Funny, I sometimes do the same thing whenever I pull my clothes from the dryer. There's just something about the warm and soothing sense that makes me feel happy, and it makes me wonder if Ren is feeling the same. Though admittedly it was a bit awkward knowing that they were my sheets, not his own, but Ren's eccentric nature had been growing on me these last few days. Somehow, this didn't really faze me anymore. Ren, however, seems to have different thoughts. As if realizing what he had just done, his eyes grow as wide as saucers before he whips his head in the opposite direction and feigns interest in the wall. There's a prominent blush spreading across his cheeks as he clears his throat and pulls the blanket down again. Before I can react, my phone goes off for what feels like the 100th time this morning, and I fish around for it once more with a groan. Not bothering to look at the screen this time, I swipe my finger across the screen to answer the call. Wait, call? Hey, morning, sleepyhead. I've got something to share with you. If it's not too much trouble, could you go to the ferry terminal? Wait. Who's in your bed? Hello? Yes, you. I can see your arm. Let me say it again. I'm so scared of getting a bad ending again. This is Ren, the guy I was telling you about. Ren doesn't seem to shy away when I tilt the camera towards his face. In fact, he only seems to lean closer to me before acknowledging Moth with a smile. Huh? Since when did you become friends with the real-life version of Haruko? And you didn't even tell me? Or wait. I think you did. Is that the submissive and breedable guy you were? Oh, shush. Okay, I think we should move on from this topic. Moth, this is Ren. Ren, this is Moth. Please pretend you did not hear anything about being submissive and breedable. Nice to meet you, Mr. Stop! Mr. Submissive and Moth! What does that mean? You don't need to know, it's okay. It's nothing, Pookie Bear, don't you worry. Pookie Bear? Please don't ask. No, ask him. I'm having way too much fun with this. Hey, tell me, does Felix make you wear Haruko's outfit too? No, please stop. No, not yet. The fuck do you mean not yet, brother? Yet? You talked about this? No, well, if he asked, I'm sure I wouldn't say no, and... Alright, I think we're done here. Moth, didn't you say you had something important to tell me? Oh, right, remember how I told you about that drawing raffle I won? You know, the other day when you were at the manga store? Yeah, but you got cut off near the end, I couldn't really make out what you were saying after our call disconnected. I did? Weird. Maybe I'm remembering things differently again. Damn. Well, there's no harm in telling you again. You can hear me this time, right? With a laugh, I nod my head while Ren gives a thumbs up from behind my shoulder. Clearly, he's just as invested in our conversation. Loud and clear. Alright, drum roll, please. Guess who won a free trip to New Selvis? Me, that's who. New Selvis? Where's that? Is that where I am? No way! I can feel Ren jolt in surprise from my sudden outburst before he settles back down at my side. At that, I shoot him an apologetic smile, one that he returns with his own. Yes, Wei, I'm passing through Colin Bay right now, and I figured if you're still in the area, maybe we could... Did you want to meet up? Knowing that this could potentially be the first time I meet Moth in person, I don't bother to hide my joy and excitement. Finally, after years and years of video calls and messaging each other online, we now had the chance to do it face to face. But before my thoughts can delve any further, Moth interrupts in a tone equally excited as mine. Would that be okay? I mean, the shuttle won't pick me up until tomorrow morning, so I haven't got much planned and I wouldn't want to intrude or anything. I know this is all so sudden and we've never actually met in person yet or even made any plans to. Hey, it's fine. I should show you around the bay. Take you to the infamous beach from the Attack on Giants. Say less! It's then that I realize Ren is still sitting next to me, peering over my shoulder while Moth and I converse. A wave of guilt washes over me, but Moth seems to step in before I can react. Oh right, the iconic beach scene wouldn't be incomplete without Haruko, right, would it? You should bring him with you, I don't mind. My name is Ren, but if it's really alright with Felix too, I wouldn't mind tagging along. Alright, you're a big fan of Attack on Giants too. You remembered? Yeah, of course I remembered, dude. I really like that anime too, so I don't mind tagging along. If it's okay with you, of course. I'd love to have you with me. Ren almost slams his head against the headboard with how quickly he straightens up as Moth snickers at his reaction in the background. Kiss, kiss, kiss! I'll seriously hang up on you. Moth's teasing calms down the moment I send them a faux glare. Ren seems to find amusement in my words as well, given how the corners of his lips pull into the faintest of smiles. Man, who knows what you two were getting up to in bed before I called. Goodbye, don't ever call me again. Hold on. I'll be waiting for you guys at the ferry terminal, but don't make me wait too long. Watching the ocean makes me feel nauseous. Also, I want to be the one who hangs up first. Bye! Before I can get a word in, Moth flashes me a cheeky grin and ends the call. Well then, I guess it's breakfast to go? With a smile, Ren eagerly nods his head. The salty aroma of the sea is the first thing I notice before a large ferry boat comes into view. Ren becomes a temporary second thought the moment I realize who might be on that ship, and I hurriedly make my way towards the dock where Moth is waiting. Felix! Moth! Felix! Moth! Almost immediately, Moth runs towards me with outstretched arms before pulling me into a warm hug. Their excitement is almost palpable as they laugh in my ear and give me the tightest squeeze I've ever experienced. They nearly swept me off my feet too, had it not been for the potential safety hazard of swinging someone around on a slippery dock. Man, I couldn't wait to get off that thing. Never again am I going to ride on a ferry, ever, ever. But oh my god, you're actually here, you're real. And you're taller than I expected too. And whoa, I love your outfit. It must be the shoes. I have to get a similar pair of... Holy shit, is that... You're joking. You're actually joking. Is this real? No way, the real-life Haruko is standing before my eyes right now. Following Moth's gaze, I notice Ren sheepishly walk up to the both of us and stand by my side. He doesn't seem to greet Moth in any way, but just as I turn around to fully face him, Ren moves a hand from his pocket and gives a shy wave. Ah, I guess I've gotten so used to Ren being more forward around me that I almost forgot about his reserved side. It's nice to meet you, again. And I get that a lot too. It must be my shoes as well. Yeah, the shoes. Moth, you haven't even looked down yet. Do I need to? Everything I need is right here in front of me, and shit, did I say that out loud? Whatever, doesn't matter. You can't blame me when I've got the real-life Haruko standing in front of me right now. Where'd you get your hair done? Can you save me from a giant? Do you need a spouse? God, I've seen what you've done for others. Moth! I've never seen them so animated before. It was almost hard to believe that this was the same Moth who'd always shy away from social situations. Sorry, I'll try to tone it back. Keyword being try here. But for real though, thanks for coming out and meeting me like this. I know it's really last minute. Not at all, I had nothing planned for today anyway, and I'm glad Ren was willing to tag along. Of course, I like making you happy. Oh, that's cute. He really is Haruko. Oh, it's Ren, and I guess, well, apart from the hair, I suppose it's just a major coincidence that Haruko and I happen to act the same. No, it's not. No, it's not, dude. It's one of the reasons he's my favorite character, actually. It's hard to miss the way Ren looks at me when he mentions Haruko as his favorite, but it happens all too quickly that I fear it was just a trick of my imagination. Yeah, I like him because he's hot. Plus, he whimpers and pouts in the most cutest way whenever he's upset. I almost laugh at the way Ren's eyes widen at Moth's words. Also, have you seen him in the latest episode? I swear the animators knew what they were doing when they ripped his uniform. Wait! I haven't seen it yet, don't spoil it. Oh shit, sorry F, my bad. But hey, if you've got time, why don't we all watch it together later? Sounds like fun, don't you think, Angel? I wasn't expecting Ren to join in, much less witness Moth be so social with someone. But then again, much like me, Moth has been obsessed with Attack on Giants since it first came out, so it made sense for them to be able to gush about it without any restraint. Plus, it was nice to see Moth having fun, so who was I to put a stop to it? Speaking of, did I tell you the reason I'm here in the first place? Well, you know about that one anime convention being held in New Selvis? They were hosting this AOG art contest online, so naturally I joined and won. So now I get to go to the convention for free, and I get to have one-on-one time with all the voice actors. I mean, come on, I finally get the chance to talk to the voice actor for Haruko? This is like a dream come true. I wonder if I can get him to say he wants to marry me. Wait, why didn't I know about this? Yeah, now that you mention it, it is kind of strange how you never said anything to me. You must be really busy with work, huh? Work? I guess you could say that. However, with everything that's been happening recently, I'm not entirely sure I can blame my distractions on my job. And I love Attack on Giants. It's weird how I never got any recommendations or ads for the convention online. I'm pretty sure he's the reason. Huh, so much for personalized feeds. Well, don't worry about it too much. I'll be sure to buy you all the Haruko charms I can find. I mean, I still owe you, don't I? Besides, the convention isn't until tomorrow, and we've still got an entire day to kill. Didn't you once say you wanted to show me some of the sights around here? Oh, you remembered. Well, since we're all here already, why don't we start with the main beach? Oh, but you don't really like water, do you? Maybe we can just... They don't? Yeah. Though it's not really the water that gets me, it's what's lurking beyond. Unknown creatures, ships and planes that go missing for no reason, endless depths that have yet to be explored. Yeah, no, not for me. Oh, I almost drowned as a kid. What? Unfortunately for you, F, you'll need to unlock my level 80 friendship to hear that one. Oh, dang it. What level am I now? Now, what do you say about a beach? After what happens in the latest episode, I hope I get to see Haruko's glorious butt imprint in the sand. Please don't look at me when... Please don't look at me when you say that. We're gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.